Greetings and salutations, Greek students. We continue our study of N. Clayton Croy's Primary Biblical Greek, learning New Testament Greek, in Lesson 27 by looking at some examples of these pronouns in action. We're going to look at some example sentences. So let's get right into it. This is from N. Clayton Croy's Lesson 27, Practice and Review. We're going to start with sentence number 1. I'll read it aloud in Greek, break it into its constituent parts, and then we'll work through how we would translate it. So, pou hupages didaskale. Ti didaskes kai tis akaluthe soi entehado tes aletheas. So this is, of course, a question. You can tell because you have your question mark at the very end of your sentence. Pou hupages. Pou, where? Where? And then this is from hupago, to depart. Where are you? We'll probably say going. I think that's probably how we would want it in English. And who are we addressing? Didaskale, teacher. Now this is a form of teacher from didaskalos. You might be going, wait a minute, what's this epsilon ending here? This is the vocative. Now, the very beginning of these lectures, I said, don't worry about the vocative. You'll know it when you see it. And in this case, you do kind of recognize it. Most of the vocatives are similar in form as what we see in the nominative anyway, so you kind of go, oh, okay, I get it. In this case, it's different, but it's a direct address. So where are you going, teacher? And so it's when the speaker of this sentence is speaking to the teacher. Where are you going, teacher? Ti didaskes, who or what, and here we're going to say what are, it's what because it's neuter, by the way. T, what are you teaching? And notice this is didaskes, o ace, second person singular, present active indicative. And you could say, so what do you teach? Are you teaching is kind of the imperfective aspect of this present tense verb. But either way, you're still in the present tense. Where are you going, teacher? What are you teaching? And who akalutheo ace a, who, this is not what, but who, akaluthe is following or follows, present tense, you, soy, this is the dative, this is the dative second person pronoun, and who is following you, entehado, in the way, tes aletheas, of truth. So we see multiple different kinds of pronouns, these interrogatives, and we kind of see how they function in sentences, not really that challenging. Look at example sentence number 2. I mean, there are challenging things about this, but this you're going, okay, I can see how these works. Kerusomen ta euangelion en tuto to cosmo hina edete tis esten he elpis hemon. So let's break this up into its constituent parts. We have a hina clause, so in order that. And again, we see those hina clauses, we should be sort of thinking, okay, what kind of sentences, what kind of clauses use the hina? It's going to be a lot of those subjunctives, which we're going to see. So, kerusomen, from keruso, I preach, I proclaim, first person plural, we preach, ta euangelion, the gospel, en tuto, in this world. So literally, this is in this the world, which is that near demonstrative pronoun, in this, not the ekenos, that world, which what other world are they going to preach it in? But they're preaching it in this one. So we preach the gospel in this world. Why? Hina. And remember, when we have the hina in the subjunctive, this is a purpose clause. In order that, this is the reason that we're doing this preaching in this world, in order that, and we have, there's no E at the end of it. I was looking ahead at the sentence. Edete, tis estin he elpis, in order that edete, second person, subjunctive, you might know, in order that you might know. And again, the might here is probably a bit of like a woodenness that we wouldn't need to translate with the subjunctive because we have this purpose clause. We're talking about something that's the mood of possibility, but putting it in there makes it clear that we can recognize that. You might know, and this is from, not know, you might see. It's not oida, it's adon. Second aorist of horao, I saw. So in order that you might see what tis or t, in this case, what is or who is, sorry. In this case, who or what, who is the hope, who is your hope. So this is a good example where we have the, again, examples of these indefinite pronouns. We preach the gospel in this world in order that you might see who is your hope. In order that you might see who is your hope. One more example, number 7. Oidamen hati hostis. Here we have the indefinite relative pronouns smashed together. Hos and tis. Lambane ton son oinon. Kai pine auton blethesatai estain fulaken. Oidamen hati. We know that. So we have oida, which we were learning in lesson 27. We know. What do we know? Content. That. Hostis. Who. And then the indefinite. Whoever. Whoever lambane takes or receives. We'll say takes in this instance. From lambano. Third person singular present active indicative. Whoever takes ton son oinon. The your wine. So your wine. Kai and Pino drinks it. Blethesatai, this is the aorist passive from balo. Future passive, sorry. This is the future passive, not aorist passive. Will be cast, or we'll probably say thrown because of the where they're getting thrown. Will be thrown. Where? Estain fulaken, into the prison, in the clink. And so this is the use of the indefinite relative pronoun. The relative pronoun hos, and the indefinite pronoun tis, who, like someone, who someone, that is whoever takes not you wine, your wine, the wine that belongs to you. And so here you have son is in the accusative because it's that possessive pronoun. It's just in the accusative case that mirrored. It's functioning as basically it's a possessive. It's a pronoun adjective, rather than seeing it as su in the genitive case as the wine of you. It's your wine, and drinks it will be thrown into prison. So these are a few examples of these indefinite and relative pronouns, even the indefinite relative pronoun that you'll see, and you'll notice probably the most difficult part of these sentences isn't about recognizing the indefinite or the relative pronoun. Probably the more difficult part of these sentences is going to be remembering the various subjunctives, present, aorist, participle forms that we've been learning throughout and kind of putting them together and then just adding this little bit. So I hope that what you're noticing as you're reading these sentences is, okay, I've got to figure out what this particular part is, but in general, I'm seeing some of how the big picture comes together, and these indefinite relative pronouns, these relative pronouns, are just kind of a small tweak to things that I'm already recognizing, and kind of hopefully some pieces are coming together and the clouds are beginning to sort of lift a little bit that you're recognizing what's going on in these sentences.